How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to really get started on our Rock-Ola 480. This is a 1980. Today we're going to get her all tore down so we can start getting everything cleaned up. I want to get the speaker door off, the title board off, front door, and yeah. And I want to get the mech up out of it. And we may, I don't know if we need to take these ones off or not. We might go ahead and do that just so we can have them out and clean them real good and check behind these plastic panels, make sure there's no critter. See, that one's pretty warped. I don't know. That's from the heat from the light bulbs. Warped that one up. Then that way we can get it all swept out and start killing some mold and see where that motor goes. I'm almost positive it goes up underneath for our basket. For our record basket. And that way, once we get it all cleaned up, then we can start working on that mech and see what the hell is going on. See why that motor's out. Maybe the basket's just bound up from sitting and somebody started doing something with it. I don't know. We'll find out once we get the mech up out of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this speaker door off. And to take these off, there's just one plug down here for your speakers. You unhook your chain and then just take him and lift him right up. And there's our speaker door. Makes it easy for working on the mech and everything. And I want to take this off because I'm tired of hitting my head on it every time I come in here to look at something. And here we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, 5 nuts. And they should be carriage. Yep, they're carriage. And that whole hinge, unbolt that hinge, and then that whole door will come up off of there. So we'll get that done, taken out of there, and then we'll be ready to get in here and start unhooking all the wires to the mech so we can get it up out of there. So let's get this door off of here first. Okay, now let's get everything unhooked so we can get this mech up out of here. I always take these circuit boards off of here, just for the simple fact that as I'm removing the mech, I don't have to worry about bumping them or busting them coming up out of here, you know, hitting the top here and busting it off. There's just 3 plugs, and then there's 2. Two 1/4-inch bolts. Trust me, this is always fun doing this with one hand and then trying to look through the camera to make sure that I'm showing you what I'm doing and not over here looking at the coin box or something. Once you get those 2 out of there, all you have to do is just lift this up off of here. See, it's got a tab on the back side and two feet, well, bolt. So it just slides right down on there and then you bolt it back up. And we'll take that. And put our, now see, this one has 2, there we go. You have 2 switches in here. I'm not real positive what these ones are for. And there's a little switch in here too. I have to get my book out and take a look. And we'll put him off to the side. Out of the way. There's a big plug right here. You can see it right here. Just two squeeze tabs. Just squeeze on them and pull that up out of the way. Now, most important is to take off your pickup line. I know, what's a pickup line? Your pickup line is your needle. That is actually goes to your needle. Make sure we get because you don't want to tear that off. You tear that off, those are a pain in the rear end to try and replace because they're so small. Take him off there, and you can see he's up over these wires in the back. So we'll get him tucked down through. And just lay him up on there. He'll be fine and left on there. No, he won't. We have to take him off of there too, because we're going to take this back control box off too. So we'll get him out of here. And then we'll remove the back panel too. I'll go ahead and get this all finished up, and I'll show you what we have to do to get the, there we go, to get this Mac up out of here. Okay, we got one more plug here for our switches up top here. That's for our operate, off, and scan. Okay, you can see I took that box off, sitting right there. This one here, you don't want to mess with, because this is what actually tells the computer what record it's on or what number it's on in your basket. So you don't really want to screw with that unless you have to adjust it. And I have the book for the my Rock-Ola 477, and the mech's the same, amp's the same, everything's the same, so we do have everything that we need in case we run into a problem like that. Alright, now there's four bolts. There's one on every corner. See, there's one there. You can just see it. That one back in there. And then there's one here. And let's see, where's the other one? Yep, there it is. Back here in the corner. Now when you're transporting these, see, this whole mech is on springs. There's 4 springs under this. Under these bolts there's a spring. So, you know, when it's playing the vibration, the mech can move a little bit back and forth. And up and down, bounce a little bit, especially if you get some rowdy dancers. So we have to take them out. When you transport these, you run these all the way up, and it sucks the spring all the way down, and the mech's planted solid in the box. When this came, when it was delivered, those were they were not screwed all the way up, and the mech kind of sat here and vibrated, but which is okay because it was upright in a truck. Now when I brought it out home, I had to lay this down to put it in the van, and I run them all the way up, secure the mech so it doesn't get damaged in transportation. And transporting, so what we have to do is, see, there's a little retainer clip on the top of these bolts. It's kind of like a C-clip. You can see it's cut out all the way, and there's just a small portion here. There's a groove on the top of these bolts. They just slide on, and then you crimp it, and then it stays on. That way the bolt doesn't fall out. What we have to do is we have to spread this open a little bit so we can get that out of there. Now I'm going to try and get this done with one hand, which I doubt if I'm going to be able to. Okay. Oh, I think the easiest way to do that is if we run it. Let me find my socket. There it is. And if we run that bolt, we'll run that bolt all the way down and snug that clip up like so. Half afraid to touch anything in the bottom because all the damn mold. My nose is already running from it. See if I can tighten that up a little bit more. There she goes. Huh. Sucker just kind of come right down through. Now what I'll have to do is I'll have to flatten that out so it doesn't, so it'll work. And as you can see, there's our big ass bolt. Okay, I'll get the other 3 down out of here, and then we'll be ready to pull this mech up out of here, and I'll bring you back when we pull the mech out. Okay, mech's all unbolted, got all 4 of those bolts out of there, and now she's ready to come out of there. Now this one, on our other one, we had an extra bracket that run across here. This one doesn't, so we should be able to just pick him up. And we have one plug left underneath. And there's our mech. Now we're ready to put him up on the bench and and see what the hell we can find out about it. Okay, now we got our springs. I'm missing one. I think it's still on the unit. Okay, now we can get this motor out of here. And as you can see, it's not even hooked up to anything. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it is marked Rock-Ola. Yeah, I remember this from the 477. That's the same motor that was in it. Oh, we got a starter. Always need one of those, huh? Another record. What we got? Irene Cara. Why me? Nothing too interesting in here. Let me put this record up. Just needs cleaned a little bit, huh? I did find a quarter earlier. Well, that one's been down in there for a while. And oh, in there. There's another quarter. Jeez. See, we have already made 50 cents. Definitely got to get this cleaned up. That's for sure. Okay, now I want to take off. A little close, aren't we? Now I want to take off the amp and the power supply, because I do want to check them out and make sure they're okay inside, since we have some rust on top. Since we have some rust on top there, I want to make sure that no water got down inside that before we start plugging in. Put that light bulb over there. So let's see, here we just have to have 2 plugs for our amp, 2 screws up top, and we can take that amp out of there. Okay, I got to pull the cord all the way through so we can get that power supply out of there. Didn't just kind of brain fart. And if you couldn't see what I was doing on the top side here, back in that corner, that screw hole, there was three grounds up in there. Those were on there. So I'll get this cord pulled through. We need a new one anyway. See, it's been run over a few times. So let me get that taken care of, and then I think that's about all we're gonna pull out of here. Everything. Oh, we got to pull the hit tracker, but we can do that later. We can pull that hit tracker later and put a battery in it. Just got to make sure we get everything working first. I labeled that one power cord coming out because both of those were the same. So the one with the tape you see, and I put top on it. Okay, got that all. I got the bulk of the stuff picked up out of there. And washed my hands about 4 or 5 times. So now we're going to take this little door off because we have to work on our button panel and stuff like that. Plus, I think with it off we can get it cleaned up a lot better, taking it apart. Okay, so here we just have our regular terminals. We don't have to worry too much because all this stuff only plugs in to one place. It's not like you have a bunch of the same plugs. Ooh, that's not good. That brown wire just disintegrated on us. Oh, that goes right on the end. Okay, well, that's good to know. Might as well have it do it to us now. Take off this one ground. It's together. Okay. Now I got to get a Phillips screwdriver. I got one ground left. Okay, what I did was I stuffed that wire, that brown wire, up through the hole where it broke off of. The contact's missing altogether. And it's probably still on the board because we can see some rust down in here. So we'll see what we got. Now, take this little door off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarter head screws to take out. Now I'm going to try and get this with one hand without it flying all over the place. And there's our door. Now let's set this up over here. Just curious. No, it's gone altogether. That sucker just rusted away to nothing and gone. So hopefully our button board is still okay. Definitely needs cleaned up. And now you can see all the paint that's missing down in there. Once I pull that off, we'll be able to take a better look at it. And there was a piece of that foam going up through there, same thing. So when you close that door, it makes it nice and snug and you don't have rattles. So now what I'm going to do, what we need to do, is let's get this thing cleaned up. Let's get the vacuum out and get it all vacuumed out and go from there. Okay, got it all vacuumed out. Now we need to do a little mold control. Now what I got here is just straight bleach. And you can see it right under there, all along that. Let me switch hands here. There we go. All along this back wall. We want to kill that mold. Nasty stuff. And we'll spray the whole bottom. I'll have to wipe this all out then, but hey, I don't care. And now we need to do the whole area without trying to stay off of as much of the electronics as possible. Whew. Shit stinks. But you gotta kill the mold. Alright, looks like we got it all sprayed down. I'll let that sit. Like I said, it'll kill it. Damn bleach kills about anything. Okay, I got the coin door off, but I have yet to pull that out. I thought I'd come back and we'll pull this out together and see if we see what we get. I don't really think there's anything in it. Oh yeah, there is. Look at that, isn't that nice? And look at the bottom of the bag. That is vermin urine. Oh man. Let me hold on a second. I don't want to dump that out in here. Okay, man, that's not a mouse nest. That looks more like a mouse hotel. Alright, I got a box here. Yeah, they ruined the coin bag. Hear that? There's another one. Yeah, there's another one. Nice, huh? Yeah. That it? Yep, looks like we got $1. And oops. There. Now we got $1.50 out of that. That looks like a bicentennial. By golly, it is 1786. Can't read it. That one, here's another one that looks like either a state's quarter or bicentennial. I don't know. Have to clean them up. The other two are just quarters. Looks like 71 and 85. And that one 83. So those quarters have been sitting around for a while. I don't know what we'll have to do with this. Got a big blowout in it. There and right there. Yeah, now we'll wash it and might stitch it up. We'll see. I don't know if we actually need one or not, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Nice mouse hotel. So you see, he didn't mind the mold, or they didn't mind it. Okay, so all I got left to do is to wipe this all down now after I bleached it. We'll get it all wiped down and that'll be done. I'll get the back wiped off, since that mold's probably dead by now. Nothing else in there. What's the chances? Nothing. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And I'll bring you some more of these great videos. So until next time, when we start on all the mechanics, crack open the amplifier and all that, check it out, make sure it's okay, and we'll start working on the mechanism. So see ya.